I hit pause, you effing POS. Ah, the stupid mother effer. It, I, I hit pause to delete a video so that I could make room in my memory for this video. Whatever. This is gonna be a part 2, I guess. Ah. Here I am, eating all this roughage. And my phone has to betray me like this. Anyway. Ancient Magus Bride, and then one that I really like, but I've kind of cooled on as of late, is Kill la Kill. And part of that is Ragyo Kiryu. Now, for those who don't watch anime, consider yourselves blessed to not know the horrors that is Ragyo Kiryu. How would you describe her? Imagine an Oedipus complex but reversed, and then make it non-consensual. And that is the only way I can describe her without demonetizing this video as if I had any monetization to begin with. And then I like Devil's Part-Timer. Cowboy Bebop, obviously. Oh. There's a fantastic anime called Gankatsuo, The Count of Monte Cristo. And it is the most faithful adaptation of the Alexandre Dumas book, even though it takes place in future France and space. Because, it goes into the Count's machinations in detail. Way more than that awful Jim Caviezel film did. I don't know if you've ever seen the Jim Caviezel film, but they make Albert, who's the son of the Count's former lover and his former best friend. They make him the Count's son in the movie, and that's so dumb. In the in the anime, he is definitely the son of the friend, but it also recontextualizes the Count, because Alexandre Dumas' book was this revenge fantasy where it was Dumas sticking it to the upper crust of France, the aristocracy who mocked him and berated him relentlessly. And he, made this hilarious, skewering of them. But the anime actually has a very fascinating take on that, where it starts to pluck at the threads a little, and, what would happen if you just destroyed Parisian society? By the end of the film, or by the end of the anime, Paris has devolved into, anarchy. People are rioting in the streets. There's chaos everywhere. And also, it also departs from the anime in another way that is kind of similar to the Ragyo situation, but it's not as bad. And it's more, well, it's definitely French, because it's actually a lot like Leon the Professional. Not to get too much into it, but anyway, no, it's a really good anime, and I actually recommend watching it, but I will say it does get a little weird with the art style, because, both the characters' outfits and even their hair and the backgrounds behind them are actually filled in with patterns. And the weird thing is, it looks hand animated, but the patterns aren't. This was someone really experimenting with digital animation in a time when no one really was. Hmm. Um, oh, a show that's aged horribly, but I still have a fondness for is Ghost Stories. It's a anime where the anime was so poorly received that the uh, the dubbers were given carte blanche to do whatever they wanted, and they did. It is very crass and crude. It is like the first abridged series. And speaking of, I also like a lot of abridged series. I like a lot of internet shows like Team 4 Stars Dragon Ball Z abridged. Anyway, I've spent way too much time on this question. Favorite, least favorite foods. Okay, so that's pretty easy. I am a big fan of calamari. Weirdly enough, I really like the Subway's steak and cheese sandwich and I like to get it with sweet onion sauce, chipotle mayo, and a little extra of regular mayo, just to tie the two together. Um, I like a good cheeseburger, and I love these. I love a Caesar salad. Weirdly enough, I also like sushi. I have such a baby palate for vegetables, but for some reason I'm okay eating raw fish. Sorry. As for least favorite foods, green beans, or at least the canned kind, which are the only kind I ever had. Cauliflower, broccoli. Um, persimmons are really bad. Excuse me. I'm not a big fan of white chocolate, but I will eat it on occasion. Of course, what Red Lobster meal is complete without two of my most iconic items: mashed potatoes and cheddar bay biscuits, baby. Mm. The perfect bread item at any restaurant. To hell with Olive Garden breadsticks. To hell with the bread you get at Outback or Minerva's. Even to hell with the rolls you get over at Texas Roadhouse. Cheddar Bay biscuits are the perfect bread. Salty, garlicky. You can't really taste the cheese, but Who cares? And you know, Beyonce will take you to Red Lobster on a condition. I actually never heard the song. I stole that from Good Mythical Morning. As we chuck in the potatoes, let's look at the last two questions from Alan. Why did I go into data analytics? I didn't actually go into data analytics. We'll get into that in a minute. My favorite what video games do I play? I really like the 3D Fallout games, 3, New Vegas, and 4. I really liked Outer Worlds. Right now I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I also love the Elder Scrolls games, Skyrim, and Oblivion might be one of my favorite games of all time. I'm trying out Morrowind right now, not having a super good time with it, but, you know, time will tell. Excuse me. I loved Halo a lot as a kid, to the point where my first username was Noobmaster117, which I actually thought somehow I had pissed off one of the Rousseau brothers, and so they had named a character in, you know, they had named Noobmaster69 after me in Endgame. Is there any other? Oh, Bioshock 2. That's another one I love. I like Dishonored. I'm trying out some of the other Arcane games, but I'm having a hard time with Deathloop. It's really, I think I'm getting too old for that kind of gameplay. I like Pokemon games. Pokemon Y might be my favorite because I really like the starters from that one, and then I also really like the legendary. I like Yveltal. Yveltal, the big death bird. Big death bird that shoot death beam. Ominous Wind, it was called. Which sounds like a fart joke. Also, Red Lobster. Best potatoes in the game. Real potatoes, but have a lot of, like, nice creaminess to them, but also, like, some herbs and spices. Alright. An old dribble. Anyway. Next up, we have some questions from Trucker Kyle for you. Well, he wants to know if I believe in the paranormal. Examples: ghosts, Bigfoot, aliens. So I have a mixed feelings on the paranormal. First and foremost, I will say I am a deist. I do believe in an afterlife. More out of paranoia than anything. I'm incredibly hatophobic due to an incident. I don't remember if I've ever talked about this, but a Presbyterian minister told me I was going to hell for getting in fights with my brother. I think he was actually telling me I was going to hell because I was Lutheran, but so that's instilled lifelong hatophobia in me. Well, anyway, so yeah, I believe in God against my will. So for Bigfoot, no, I don't believe in Bigfoot, maybe, but I do believe that there are cryptids that we maybe have not discovered yet. Like, what's that old saying? We've seen more of the universe than we have of our own, the depths of the ocean. And then there are also unexplored parts of the Amazon and like the Congo and stuff. So who knows? Ghosts, yes, I do believe that there is such a thing as ghosts, but I also don't believe that we have ever had actual confirmation of it. Like any ghost hunters, even oh shit. Hold on. Sorry, the lobster fell over. The lobster's haunted. I don't believe we've ever had recorded proof of ghosts. I'm incredibly skeptical when it comes to any kind of paranormal show because if ghosts existed, you would hear about it long before that shit was edited and put to TV or YouTube. You know what I mean? Aliens, yes, absolutely. I do believe that intelligent life exists in the universe. Intelligent life that is at our level or even beyond. However, I do not believe that they have made contact with human society because I don't necessarily believe in faster than light travel, and you would need faster than light travel to get to Earth. You know what I mean? Also, there is the very real possibility that we are the precursors, that we are the one of the earliest civilizations to reach this level of technology. That we might be the aliens. You know what I mean? I know the universe is like 4 billion years old or whatever, but that's still not a long time for life to evolve. Like our planet, our measly little planet at the edge of the galaxy, has had so many effing extinction events over the the millennia, the millions of years. So who knows what extinction events might have happened on other planets? Um. So yeah. I don't think that faster than light travel is technically possible. So who knows? That's a really weird thing to say, but then I don't know. If you believe in aliens or Bigfoot or the ghosts, I'm not gonna be able to dissuade you. My view of it is, I the thing I say, the thing I always quote with ghosts, especially, is I don't believe in ghosts, but I've been scared of them all my life. That was Edgar Allan Poe said that. Even the most logic driven atheist person is scared of the unknown in the wee hours when they're alone in the dark. Second question from Kyle: time travel. He wants to know that if I would time travel, where I would go, and if it would be a one way trip where I can change the past, or a round trip where I'm merely an observer. So I'm very greedy about this. I'd probably go back to like when I'd probably go back and invest in Google or Apple or one of those like really big tech companies right before it got or Amazon right before it got really big, and I'd make a butt ton of money. I'd probably try to save Robin Williams from committing suicide. I'd probably try to get cancer diagnosis and treatment for Chadwick Boseman. I'd be trying to fix things that I hate so much. I'd try to keep. Well, you asked this question. It's your fault. It's about to get political. I'd try to keep Donald Trump from getting elected. I'd try to get Bush out of office early. If he was already elected. Because I want to say 2000, which I couldn't prevent 9/11 in 2000 probably because that'd be a lot of stuff I'd have to do in such a short amount of time. But if I were to go back in time and somehow maintain my funds in my bank, I would invest money in those. However, if it were just a round trip, for me to see something and then come back to the present, dinosaurs. I'd want to see a T-Rex. Okay, I'd want to see a Carnosaur. I'd want to see a Brachiosaurus, a Plesiosaur. I want to see the real life monsters. I mean, that's a pretty. I think that's a pretty, normal thing to want. Potatoes are so good. But that was a good question, Kyle. Thank you. Then, Vao Jing or Vao X Heng. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Wants to ask who my favorite teacher was. Despite being a very milquetoast kid, I was actually a compulsive liar. I think that's part of why I talk so bluntly and frankly nowadays, is because I got so sick of lying, and I needed to prove to myself that I was a good person. So like nowadays I try not to lie as much as possible. But I made a lot of enemies with my teachers. That said, I did have a few that I really liked. Um, One of the best that I can think of is Dan Dozen. He was my high school art teacher. Wonderful man. Like the archetypal art teacher. He was like he was very chill and kind and stuff, and he was always encouraging us and helping us experiment. He sadly had to retire early. He actually retired right after I graduated. He had like spine issues, and he couldn't be the art teacher anymore. But and one thing is, we heard that the Teacher of the Year award was getting given out at our school, and I was like, oh, it's gotta be Mr. Dozen, because like all this stuff is happening to him, and he was such a great teacher. He helped me a lot. Like, he helped me turn in late assignments and stuff so that I didn't get in trouble. And then he effing lost it to some effing chorus teacher, and I'm like, rip off. That's stupid. But that's in the past. That's 11 years gone now. Other than that, my librarian, Mrs. Isidore from elementary school, I loved elementary school so much. Some people peaked in high school. I peaked in 5th grade. Uh, no, trying to think, like, I don't know. There was one teacher who I look back on really fondly, Mrs. Lewis. She was our biology teacher. She was a bit of a hard ass, but only because she wanted us to succeed. And like, when I got into high school where I had teachers who didn't care, I failed a lot more. I need a more mom-like teacher. Excuse me. But like, I called her the Wicked Witch of Dissection because she had like walls of she had a closet that was wall to wall pickled specimens and formaldehyde. It was grody and like something out of Return of the Living Dead, but it was awesome. When you're in 8th grade, when you're a 7th or 8th grader, I think I was 7th grade. Yeah, 8th grade was when I had Mr. Jones as my earth science teacher, which the most boring science taught by the most boring teacher. He had a very monotone voice. Imagine if Mike Lindell was on like antipsychotics, so he was just at a much lower tone. Ugh, awful. Let's see here. William K. Skank asks my top 3 favorite foods. I kind of went into it, but I'll just go over it again one more time. The Subway steak and cheese sandwich, sushi, and calamari. Or I'll say calamari slash clam strips. I really like mollusks. I don't know what to say. I probably like escargot. Food challenge. About Blank wants to know if I'd ever be interested in any food challenges. I've thought about it. As a kid, I probably could have done the 72-ounce steak challenge, but nowadays, my stomach shrank a lot. I probably couldn't do that. So who's to say? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. EW wants to know what my job is. So he asks this because I get interrupted a lot during some of my videos. My job is not data analytics. That was me having a joke. My job is actually I'm a night auditor. That basically I am the person at a hotel who checks people in and does the evening reports, hence the data analytics thing. And I make sure that guests are checked in, that their reports are processed. I give the breakfast crew a head start on breakfast. I fold towels. I microwave sausage. Basically, I am the single problem solver at a hotel in the evening in the middle of the night. During the day, you have all this other staff. You have, you have a Publix person. You have a breakfast attendant. You have a front desk person. You have a handyman. At night, it's just me. And I'm the only one who's there. And there's been some really awful situations I've had to handle. Maybe I'll go into those one day. And fine, but anyway, this video's starting to run pretty long, so let's get to the final question from It's Jason, ITSJSIN. So I guess it's Jason. Coke or Pepsi? That's an interesting thing. So, diet, definitely Pepsi. I think it tastes a lot better than Diet Coke. However, for regular, I think I gotta go with Coke. I think Coca-Cola tastes better. That said, I'm not picky. I'll drink either. It's just when I have my druthers, I prefer Diet Pepsi. Honestly, you'd probably get more of a reaction out of me if you asked what my favorite ginger ale or root beer was, which, by the way, favorite root beer is A&W. It has the best diet. Same with ginger ale. Canada Dry has the best diet. They both taste like they both still taste like their stuff. And then, on that note, Diet Dr. Pepper may have the best diet because it still has all the spices in it. You know what I mean? Spices ain't got no sugar, or ain't got no sugar and fat in them. They're just spices. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Uh-oh, I think one of my claws went AWOL. Excuse me. But thank you everyone for submitting your questions, for taking the time to be with me, and thank you for subscribing. This is insane. 1,000 subscribers is so many people. Where did all of you come from? I'm scared. Oh, crap. Everything's falling around me. I need to get out of here before things get crazy. Alright, you all have a good one. This is Royce Miller. I'm outie.